How's Big Three going, man? How's the season going? I watched last weekend. I saw you sitting courtside. You looked awesome. I saw the teams continue to play. Feels like the level of play from previous seasons has been upped a little bit. How do you feel about how the season's going, and what are your thoughts up to this point?
Amazing, man. We had great games, and you're right. The athletes have gotten a lot better. You have to bring it in the big three. Nobody takes a playoff. And we had an amazing turnout in Brooklyn. We celebrated the 50th anniversary of hip hop, so we had a lot of the pioneers, from Grandmaster Flash to Melly Mel to Karis One, come out,
Right.
Chuck Chill Out. Ja Rule performed. So it was just MOP got down. It's growing at the rate that we expected. We're getting more and more people watching every week. We started off, like 493 as far as ratings, 493,000. Then it went to 502 last week. Now it's up to 525 this week. So it's moving in the right direction. People are loving the big three. They're getting into it and they're having a ball with it. We got week 4 coming up in Memphis on Saturday.
Those are massive numbers for the middle of summer. You should be
Yeah.
incredibly proud. You should be incredibly proud by that, Q. Go ahead, AJ.
I heard you talk about that the NBA players aren't really allowed to talk about the big three anymore. They don't for some reason. What do you think's going on there, and why would they not be able to promote or just talk about how cool it is?
I think they were just told not to mention the big three on the air. We know how much the NBA really, we could see how much the NBA really controls who talks about them and who doesn't, and what's said and what's not said about the league or other leagues. So, I was told by somebody I trust who actually played in the big three, who was an announcer that he couldn't speak on it on air.
Isn't that interesting though? Because wouldn't you think like more basketball is good for all basketball?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like popular basketball is good for all basketball. Have you tried to press a little bit to get more answers or information on why you think that is the case?
Well, when we met with Adam Silver and Mark Tatum in 2017, when we started the league, that's exactly what he said. He said more basketball is better for all the basketball. And, it's just shocking that it's not really shocking, but,
Hey,
you
why
say
does this
anything
happen,
with your
Cube?
mouth. Huh?
Cube, you're in sports world, you're in music world, you're in movie world,
Right.
you're in every world, right? Writers Guild's strikes going on right now. I assume you have some sort of thing in that. How come there's so much bullshit and everything? You think, Cube? Have you done a deep dive into why you think? Because just for me now, obviously, I didn't come from Compton, and we were very lucky to kind of see the entire come up of you and your crew and how you changed the world and everything like that. But I didn't have a lot of connections or knew a lot of people that were in successful positions growing up. I think the most successful person I met was like my dad's friend who was potentially a professor somewhere. And that was like, oh, this guy made it. He was driving a fucking BMW or something like that. But now that I'm kind of getting through life and you start meeting these people who are at these top places, it's very eye-opening about how much bullshit is out there. I assume you've had to deal with this a lot. Why do you think that's the case, Q? Why do you think that is the case?
People will lie and do things that are diabolical to protect their interests, to protect their money, to protect their status, to not have to deal with competition. It's a lot of bullshit in the air. A lot of it has to do with money and controlling the money. We have to all have big shovels to even breathe because we all, I did an album called Everything's Corrupt. So I know what you're talking about.
I fucking love that you're a part of our society, though. We need more people like you, Q. PacMan has a question for you.
Q, my first question, I was looking at the cities y'all going to. Is there any?
I like that shirt. I
You
like
smell
that
me?
shirt.
You smell me?
Yeah,
yeah.
man. I like that shirt, baby.
Yeah.
Peace out.
Are
Rest
you
in
coming
peace,
to it?
Easy.
When can we get it in Atlanta, Cincinnati, or Indy?
Ooh.
Oh, we were in Atlanta last year for the championship. Um, the thing is, it's like a rolling all-star game. You got to catch us when we come through.
Okay.
We're gonna hit Memphis. We hitting Charlotte. Hopefully next year we can get to Cincinnati. We can get to Indiana. We've played Indianapolis before,
Okay.
and so we got to pick and choose. Basically 10 spots to play in, and like I said, if we somewhere near you, please come through, fall through, come in, and have fun with us. It's worth the trip. It's worth a special fly in to find the big three. A lot of guys do it.
I'm gonna catch you one of
Pat,
these
go ahead.
days.
Your second question, Pat. Go ahead, pal.
How hard is it getting top athletes to come over and play in the big three that's coming from the NBA?
Well, some guys when they retire they're done. So it's not really about your name at this point. It's about your game. Can you still play at this level? Do you still have the fire and the passion to be a pro? And these guys ain't playing. You get more money if you win than if you lose in the big three. So, that make you play hard every day of the week. So you have to have a level of you got to be ready to fight for it and play hard, and it's not ticky-tack, so you got to be a true baller that want to play in the traditional style.
So you're making it a spectacle, these live events, it sounds like. And I think that's the right play because when people get out, you said it's worth a trip or whatever. With what COVID was, with the amount of people that were just kind of locked in their houses, kept in their houses, I think people getting out and going, doing things is a whole thing now. Like, all right, we got to go do this whole thing. So you making it a big time show with Big Three basketball also taking place. I think that's the right play. Has it always been that way? Or are you trying to lean into that more? Or what do you see for the future?
No, it's always been that way. We've always seen, sports and entertainment as, like macaroni and cheese. They go together. And long as you take the sport serious and you don't muck around with how the sport is played, we have unique rules, but we take those very serious. But everything else is fun. Everything else is entertainment. We let the guys trash talk. We play 6 games in one day. They last about 45 minutes apiece. So it's a whole day. So we got to make it a festival. Yeah. We got to make it, a festive day, and so we got entertainment coming through. We got dunkers, dancers, DJs, break dancers. We got activations. Monster Energy is doing things, we just got to, we're taking the kind of WWE approach of just making it a massive entertainment spectacle and have fun with it, and then make the games deadly serious. And it's a fun event, and it's affordable. The whole family, you're seeing families at my events, a lot of kids who won't break the bank, and it's a whole day of entertainment. Get out that sun and come see the big three.
Dude, it's something to do. Like, I think that's you know what I mean? A lot of these places, there ain't shit to fucking do. So, like, it's something to do. It's an incredible spectacle, it sounds like. You're going to watch great athletes do their thing. Ratings are boosting on TV every single week. Feels like you got, hey, let's go. Fuck those gatekeepers. Huh? We're rolling.
Yeah.
We are rolling,
we hop gates when we hit fences, you know what I'm saying? So I'm used to that. Everywhere I wanted to go that was locked up, we just hit the fence and went in anyway. So, that's how we get down. So they ain't stopping. You can't stop the bum rush. Public Enemy told us that in 1987, and it's true.
I love that. I'll tell you what, there comes an age, though, where you can't get over that fence anymore. You know?
That's all right. You know, you send the youngins in and they come unlock it for you and you walk through.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
we
Yeah,
gonna
go
get
get over
in.
there.
We gonna get in.
Need you to come.
We gonna get in.
Connor
Yeah.
has a question for you, Q.
Yeah, Cube, one of the things that we loved that you were doing before was Mount Westmore, and I know you guys came out with an album last year. Has there been, more stuff with that, and do you think that's something that maybe, at these big three events, you guys might just, pop up there and do a couple songs for the people in the stands, or what?
I mean, I would love for the Mount Westmore to get down. You're dealing with four, superstars that got multiple businesses. So sometimes it's hard for us to all get together. During the pandemic, it was a little easier, but it's a little harder now, which is fine because we always gonna get down. I think we always gonna do music and drop music, and we'll tour when the timing is right for everybody.
Hell yeah.
Big subwoofer in the back, like what's up, blow the windows at the frame. It's a party when I pull up.
Party when I pull up.
Hey, that's a fucking banger.
Yes.
Dude.
Yes.
That is
It is.
That is a banger. Because there was a time, I don't know when he came on, maybe 2 years ago, 3 years ago, I forget what it was. And I was like, hey, Cube, we need some fucking bangers again.
Yep.
Nobody's making bangers anymore. And then you guys showed up with Big Subwoofer. I want to let you know, I'm very grateful for that. And much like Connor, I think we're all excited for you guys to get back into the studio and get to a show. Diggs has a question for you, Cube.
Yeah, Cube, now that you guys have been doing it for a few years, have you found like a feeder system for the league? Like, is it guys from the NBA that perform best, or college, or where are you finding the best three versus three players?
That's a great question. It's its own sport. It has its own skill set. So we've been surprised a lot. Some guys come from the NBA. We think they're going to light it up, and they get locked up. And then some guys who never made it to the NBA, Kevin Murphy, he's our MVP. I think he had maybe a year or two in the NBA, but, he's our MVP. Isaiah Briscoe, two-time champion going for a three-peat. So it's its own thing. In the NBA, in 5-on-5, you can be a specialist. You can be a defensive guy. You can be a three-point specialist. You can be a rebound guy. In the big three, can't do that. You gotta be able to dribble, pass, shoot, and defend. And if you can't do that all at a high level, you will be exposed and you will not have success in the big three.
It's not about your name.
It's about your
game. We thought you were going to light it up. You got locked up. A lot of bars coming out of big three.
A lot of bars.
I got the bars. I got the bars for days. You know what I mean? I got the bars. I got bars like PacMan got hands. PacMan got hands for you, baby.
Yeah.
You better,
Smell me.
You better
smell me.
PacMan to put them hands on you. So I got bars like PacMan got hands.
Cube, did you hear about? Hey, you remember that? We all saw the video of him beating the fuck out of that guy at the Atlanta airport with Popeye's chicken in his hand. Did you? We literally just learned of this a couple months ago. That was because Shaq, he was literally fighting somebody because they talk shit to Shaq. Could you imagine being Shaq's bodyguard? That's fucking PacMan. It's a wild story,
right,
dude.
I mean, he was, for lack of a better word, a beast on the field, fast and feisty and would lock you up. And so it's just great, that I get a chance to say what's up to PacMan.
Man, it's great to have you on here speaking, Holly, man. You're very inspirational. I'm watching everything you've done, man. I appreciate that too, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Hell yeah, this is a cool. Look at this. Huh? Look at this.
Mm-hmm.
Huh?
How about it?
Moment.
What?
We just had a moment.
Hey, Pat, you bringing us together, man.
Yeah.
You're bringing us together.
I appreciate it, man. Got the best job in the world, too, bro. Best job in the world. Get to sit here, talk shit with these guys.
I told him,
hell yeah.
Cube, I told him, though, he's got to shave those fucking dreads. He wants to be part of this show.
Nah, man. Nah. PacMan got to be PacMan now.
Yeah.
PacMan gotta be PacMan
no.
now.
Yeah. Cube
hey, we're talking about how
dumb. PacMan.
Cube, we're talking about how dumb people are, bro. Like, think about allegedly this was happening at a pretty successful place where football players would come in and they'd be like, yeah, you got to shave those dreads off your head or whatever. It's like, Why would you ever fucking what do you want to succeed or do you want to? I don't under. This is the world we're in right now. I don't know if you've heard about this. Northwestern has this football situation right now,
Yeah.
Cube, that is just like
Well, no.
only. Dude, yeah, there's a hazing thing going on. They just fired the coach. Cube, this guy's been the coach of their team for 17 years. He got fired last night because of some hazing stuff and some other racist stuff that's come out. It's like they stink, though. It makes sense why they stunk.
They maybe had a couple.
You wonder why?
Yeah.
Bingo.
Wonder why.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. How's the culture of the teams? Teams hang out with each other? Like, how often are they around? Do they practice? What is it like for the big three teams?
Yeah, they definitely hang out together. We got a family atmosphere for sure because we're together for 10 weeks throughout the whole summer. That's why you don't want to lose to nobody because they're going to be in your ear from week one all the way. You can't escape. They always there. So, the trash talking is always flowing. And what they do, they fly in a day before the games and get a practice in and, we'll run through. Not too much. We want them fresh for Saturday. Having a week off, it really allows them to, recover naturally and be ready to go hard again, by the weekend. So we treat it like the NFL in a lot of ways. Not too much wear and tear during the week, but let's get down on
Is that me?
Let's just get down on Saturday.
No.
Oh, there it is. Hey, the thing is, like, there's some coaches that I've literally heard them say, let's just get these fucking guys a Sunday. Okay?
Right.
Please. We don't have to. Let's just get these guys a Sunday. Okay, we got Toradell coming Sunday morning. Let's just get these guys to Sunday. Well, we got to go through. Let's figure out how to do that in a different way. Let's just get these fucking guys to Sunday. I like that you have that with the big three because you got some older players. Yep. Obviously, Mother Nature and Father Time are going to do their thing, and I think that's smart. That's why the ratings are climbing. AJ has a question for you, Cube.
Yeah, well, I know I've heard people say, like, hey, I wish Dwight, you guys go get Dwight Howard, try to get him in the big three. Guys like that maybe playing overseas. Is it hard to try to recruit some of them, or you think you're going to get some to come on over?
It depends. Each guy is different. Of course, we went after Dwight, after Isaiah Thomas, after a few guys. And, maybe he's having too much fun in Taiwan. I don't know. But we're here. He may not want to play this year. He may want to play next year. The thing about the big three is you won't age out. You know what I mean? It's like you can play or not. If you can't play at this level, you'll probably know and back out. But we're always here. You don't play this year, you can play next year. We'll have a spot for him.
How about Dwight? He is having a blast on his internet.
Yeah. Crushing.
Yeah.
Bro, it's a whole new – I've been watching like Dwight Howard's fucking loving his life right now. I don't know if any of them speak the language he speaks. They are.
He rich in Taiwan, man. What's not to love?